Tragically, Sabikui Bisco falls under that pile of anime that I wanted to like because of how interesting and weird it started out. I was won over by the soundtrack and how easily it elevated any fight scene that got used in. Bisco is a hot-headed protagonist, which is better than the usually morally obsessed crybaby main character that is often seen instead, and yet there wasn't really much to any of the characters. The antagonist was annoying and only appealed to me because he was graced by the voice talent of Kenjiro Suda. Honestly, they should have just gotten rid of him early on and introduced a better threat. It sort of pains me to dig into this series this way, but I can only take so many obnoxious fake out deaths that felt they dragged on the story, and character models that rocked back and forth rather than being adequately animated. By the end, the finale didn't do anything for me anymore. Though I really do like the soundtrack to this and the way it's used, I cannot let it gloss over the fact that this adaptation has a lot of problems. The writing in this is laughable, sadly so. The main antagonist could have at any point towards the end easily killed the entire cast if he really wanted to, but conveniently did not go for the show of power when it came to attacking them nearly every time. The amount of damage some of these characters can take and still be able to go on is comical. Besides the great soundtrack, I appreciate how this series tried to be interestingly bizarre. From organic planes to weaponized animals to giant worms with human limbs and giant floating man eating pufferfish. I did enjoy how out of there they went with this. Milo and Bisco's friendship was fine, though often borderline felt like a boys' love relationship done on purpose as bait. The romance in this felt laughably unnatural. I liked how the world building started out because this is an interesting post apocalyptic type setting. Despite that, it didn't feel satisfying how it was explored. They rushed through places and monsters, and the viewers were left with lots of questions. Milo's character itself isn't anything much besides some typical nice guy who happens to be a doctor. That's what makes him trying to look tough later look forced and not work. More than that, it just gave me secondhand embarrassment. At first, I enjoyed the arrows and their mushroom spawning abilities. Towards the end, I felt like a broken skill as nothing really felt like a threat anymore, despite Bisco and Milo going up against literally world-ending monsters. This adaptation felt too questionable. A shame because it had potential in the beginning. 65 out of 100. Thank you for listening.